Good morning, friends. Today's topic is steady wisdom. Two words, steady and wisdom. Wisdom we know, the wisdom or the intellect or the knowledge. And steady also we know that it should be firm, firmly established, unwavering. The knowledge which is firmly established, unwavering, doesn't change, doesn't betray at the time of need, is not affected by temptation, is steady wisdom. Wisdom, like knowledge, the Vedanta says there are two kinds of knowledge in the Upanishad which is described. The one knowledge is which we generally understand as wisdom, whatever we get from the external world, and then we analyze with our intellect. Whatever we receive through our mind and intellect is called knowledge. So in that, the Vedanta time, whatever was there in the science and art that it described, the language, phonetics, grammar, whatever is there, this is called all lower knowledge. Even the study of the scriptures, the Vedas themselves say, the study of the Vedas are also lower knowledge. And what is the higher knowledge? Yad aksharam adhigamyate, by which the imperishable is understood, by which the supreme is realized. That alone is the higher knowledge, all else is lower knowledge. So this wisdom may also be said to be establishing, getting oneself established in that higher knowledge. In fact, this wisdom or knowledge are always the tool for strength and fearlessness. They are tools for freedom. Any knowledge makes us strong. Ignorance makes us weak, and knowledge makes us strong and also free. For example, any knowledge makes us free from the ignorance of that particular thing. I know music. So if I know the song, I am free from the ignorance of that song. So I feel happy because of that freedom that I attain, the freedom from the ignorance of that particular thing. So like that is but how many are the things to be known in the world? There is no end to the knowledge in the world. We cannot be free, know everything in the world. In Upanishad it is said that one small child goes to the teacher and says to the teacher, Kasminno bhagavo vigyate sarvamida vigyatam bhavati. Can you teach me something by which I can know all, I can know everything? He wants to know that is there anything, by knowing that particular thing, he can know everything. He doesn't want to know everything, it is not possible. You cannot know music, you cannot know swimming, you cannot know geography, you cannot know physics, everything one person cannot know. But is there anything by knowing which everything is known? So that was the question suddenly came in the mind of that young, bright student boy, that by knowing which I can know everything. Can you teach me that? By that he meant the knowledge of the self. If we know ourself, our real true self, then we know everything. All ignorance vanishes. Nothing more remains to be known. And when one knows oneself, which is also equated as the knowledge of God, or realization of God, or the knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, the same thing, then everything remains known. That is, nothing remains that I do not know, or I need to know. Once Sri Ramakrishna wanted Yam to explain how the eclipse occurs according to science. So Yam was drawing the diagrams of sun and the moon and the shadow and the earth. And after listening for a few seconds, Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, that's fine. He did not say more. No more. You don't feel like that I need to know, by knowing which I will have greater joy of knowledge. When one is established in the knowledge of the self, nothing is there that remains to be known. Or one doesn't feel that he lacks some knowledge. He is established in that freedom by which the man wants to be freed from the ignorance of particular things. I want to know about the making house, then I am free from the ignorance of how the houses are built. But that is a part of the big amount of knowledge, which is infinite. You cannot do that. But those all will culminate when we know our own self. So, the person who knows self, his wisdom or her wisdom is steady and firmly established. And when wisdom is firmly established, he is one with the self. Where to establish that wisdom? What does that mean, that firmly establishing the wisdom? Wisdom has to be established in the reality, in the self, in God. He is aware of what God is. He knows what real his self is. The problem with us, we are so much ignorant of our own self. And so much we are bound by the false knowledge of the self called ego, by chiseling, cutting, deforming our own real, infinite, blissful self. We have made an ego of ourselves, certain idea of our own self. And because we are ignorant of real self, and we have the idea of our own ego, we try to cling to that ego. We are established in that ego, which is incorrect knowledge, false knowledge. And this incorrect or false knowledge always gives us trouble. The whole trouble, misery, suffering that we get in the world is because of our clinging to this ego, false knowledge of our own real self, our own self. So one who is aware of his or her own real self, he is established in steady wisdom. So, in fact, it is like one who has realized God. Arjuna was said by Sri Krishna when he said, I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill my own kids and relatives, my own grandsire and my own teacher. Sri Krishna said, Arjuna, what are you saying in this moment of very crucial moment? And Arjuna said, oh, I can live without any kingdom, I can live like a monk, I can go to forest like that, and live on alms, I don't want to have to be kingdom. And all he was saying out of his changed mind. Intellect was wavering, mind which was prepared to fight a battle had changed, seeing the army. Maybe imminent fear of death was there, or there was the delusion of killing relatives. Something overpowered Arjuna. And Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, you are saying very high philosophy, but you are like saying like a pragya vadang sabhasate, as if you are a wise man. You are not wise. You are deluded fully. If you are wise, what you had decided that time you will have a thought, what you are going to do. You know this will happen. You are going, and they were in opposite side, who are now saying of your own relative. When you are preparing for war, didn't you know that you had to fight with them? What happened? Why this mind wavered? Why this intellect changed? Why this another thought coming? So it is a weak mind. And you are talking like a pragyavadang savasase. You are behaving and talking like a pragyavan, like a man of wisdom. You are not a man of wisdom. That Sri Krishna had told to Arjuna. Arjuna, after listening about the Atma and other things, tried to know what Sri Krishna wants. Who really is the man of steady wisdom? Sthita Prajna. It's called Sthita Prajna in Sanskrit. So Sri Arjuna in the second chapter itself, after when he learned, and Sri Krishna said, fight for your duty, and when you fight, that what is Atma? Atma doesn't die, it cannot kill, it cannot be killed like that. Then Arjuna asked the question, Lord, what is the sign of the person of steady wisdom? Sri Krishna had said, Pragyavan. What is the real sign? What is his characteristic? A man of steady wisdom. And how does he talk? Sthita kim prabhasyata. How does he speak? Kim asita. How does he sit? Kim brajeta kim. How does he walk? So Sri Krishna, Arjuna wants to know from Sri Krishna that you are talking of, when you said about the man of knowledge, what is the characteristic of man of knowledge? Is there any difference from what ordinary man do? There must be some difference, even in the ordinary things, like sitting, walking, talking, speaking. So how does he do that? what his mental makeup, what a realized soul will be doing. So by that, Arjuna wants to know and wants to reach really that state which Sri Krishna said, you are talking like a very wise man, but you are not wise. I want to be wise. I want to realize God. That type of feeling Arjuna might have had. That's why he's asking that. By understanding that, Shankaracharya says in the explanation of this verse in the Gita, by knowing the characteristic of a man of realization, that becomes a help for our sadhana. We try to follow that. We try to become like that. Oh, this is the person of realized intellect do, then I have to follow that. So Sri Krishna answers this beautiful question of Arjuna. He must have been very happy to see a friend and a disciple and a student asking such a beautiful question. He wants to know the qualities of a study wisdom, person of study wisdom. Sri Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmanatusta sthita pragyasta docchate. He said, the man of study wisdom has certain character. Some are internal character, some are external character. Some are known only to that person, which we cannot feel from outside. Some, of course, can be seen. So that which is very internal change, internal quality of the person of study wisdom is Prajahati yada kaman. He, the man, he or she, the person of study wisdom, he gives up all kaman, kama. Kamyate means what is desired. Whatever is desired, he gives up. There is no desire left in him. There is no desire to enjoy the world is left in him. Yada kaman sarvam. All desires. Partha, where are the desires? Manogatan. Whatever desires are there in the mind, all are given up by that man. So is he like a dog having no desire? No, he doesn't have desire to enjoy himself. But he has a desire to live in the company of God. Always living in the awareness of God consciousness. Always seeing God in everyone, that desire he has. Sri Ramakrishna also prayed to Mother, Mother, don't make me dry jnani. Person knowing the truth and behaving very like a madman in the world. Don't be like that, make me like that. I want to talk, I want to take your name and speak about you to the devotees. Keep me in Rose Boshe, Ma Rose Boshe Ra. Keep me in bliss and happiness and in communion and conversation with the devotee. I want to talk about you. I want to speak about you. I want to sing your name and glory. I want to live like that in this world, enjoying your communion with you, enjoying your awareness, presence of your awareness. That's what he said. Now comes here, what is this desires in the mind? So our mind has 4 states, 4 levels. Unconscious, subconscious, conscious and superconscious. All these 4 levels, desire in 4 level has to go. It is very difficult to get rid of the desire of enjoyment. In waking state, we may feel, oh, I have a control of what to eat and what not to eat. I have a control of what to buy and what not to buy. I have a control of what to possess and what not to possess. I can just do that. But that may not be all your desires in your mind. So how to understand what really is desire in our mind? 2 ways. One, in the subconscious level there are many desires which we do not know. We do not come to the conscious level. To understand, am I freed from selfish and enjoying desire for enjoyment in the whole of the mind? Is my mind clear? Is my subconscious also clean? To understand the subconscious, there are 2 ways. One is dream. Whatever is unfulfilled desires in waking state, and we try to control by our intellect in the waking state, that may surface in our dream. So what do we have desire for enjoyment in the dream? Then our mind is not yet clear. Sarvan manogatan kaman are not gone. All desires of the mind are not clear. Another way to understand whether we are clean in our mind is during when we concentrate, try to concentrate our mind on divine. That's called japa dhyana, japam and meditation. When we sit there, that time what sorts of thoughts come? This japam is wonderful opportunity to clean our mind. It's not only to understand our mind. In dream only we can understand. But this japam and dhyanam, meditation and repeating of holy mantra, that is a moment when we clean our mind. What we do? When we sit, people say, Swami, before I tried spiritual practice, I was so perfect. When I sit now, I find such bad thoughts come, which I never experienced. Why this, you taught this holy name, will be all doing good and you'll be joyful, but I felt horrible thoughts coming in my mind. Is this the effect of this mantra that you gave? No, that is not the effect of the mantra. Mantra now is going deep into your mind and trying to get rid of those things. Those samskara, the subconscious, the desires in subconscious mind are coming up like bubble coming up in the water of a pond, water of a lake. Go on putting more of the mantra. Go on trying to concentrate the mantra, your thoughts on divine. Those thoughts will come and will go out. That's only you are now aware of what was hidden deep into your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be scared of what was hidden. It was there and it would give trouble. Unless your mind is clear of all those thoughts and desires in the subconscious mind, you will be in trouble. Those will sometimes manifest. You will feel that, oh, I have become a very strong man, but you are not a man of steady wisdom. You are not a person of steady wisdom. Any wrong temptation, little temptation, it may just fall down. That happens. Divine Mother said in Chandi, even the great munis, by my power, get deluded. Great rishis get deluded by my power. What is the power of the Divine Mother? Mahamaya. Valad mohaya akrishyati. I can withdraw their mind by my power. That power lies as our desires in the subconscious mind. When we get rid of that, then we can hope to be a person of steady wisdom. So all desires in the mind has to be tried to be clear through the spiritual practice. Then is the possibility of having steady wisdom. Another it says, the second verse, Atmani eva atmana tusta. And those persons are very happy, always happy. Never they are unhappy. Why? Because they are satisfied within themselves. They don't need any external help to become happy. Getting happy by going to a nice movie. I feel so happy, I saw the movie. You need movie to get happy. You are not happy within yourself. So that is not the way that you are established in steady wisdom. The person of steady wisdom will be happy within himself. Atmani eva atmana tushta. They don't need any external help to become tushta, satisfied, always joyful. They are joyful within themselves. Two types of explanation have been done for Atmani eva atmana. They are satisfied by Atma with the Atma. One, the devotee says, they are satisfied, their mind is satisfied by being with God. One Atma is their own self, another Atma is God. They are always happy with God. They don't seek anything other than God. When they think of God, they are happy. They don't have to think anything else. So, that's what it is, the internal thing. They are always happy because they don't have any desire. What makes us unhappy? What makes us miserable? It is the desires. Desires which are not fulfilled, that makes us miserable. And they say, why we are happy when our desires are met? They say we are happy when our desires are met because we are freed from desires that moment. I want something. And when I get that, to eat or to see or to possess, when I get that, I feel so happy that moment. I am not happy because I got that, because I possessed that, because I got to eat that, because I got to taste that. But because my desire was fulfilled, I am freed from desire. Because I got that, for that moment, I have no desire. So desires are the thing which makes us miserable. When desires go away, then there is happiness. When all desires go away, where is that happiness comes? From your own being. All happiness is within you. To such a person who is freed from all desires for enjoyment, such a person, what he does, dukheshu anudvigna mana. That person is never unhappy, never miserable. And when miseries come, it doesn't affect, anudvigna, it doesn't shake him. He is not changed, he is not worried for the miseries. That is what the man of realization is, the prajna is. What for us, small, what song was being sung, even the insults, like that what we are reading, insults make us so much change, the man becomes changed, we become so angry with a little small insult, or not only insult, if we do not get proper respect, we have some idea that when I go there, I should be treated this way. When I go to police station, at least I expect that the police officer will ask me to sit. And he doesn't ask me to sit. He didn't insult me, but I take that as an insult. He didn't have that much of courtesy. And Sthita Pragya Lakshana, Swami Saradananda, police officer didn't ask him to sit. But that was an Indian police officer, who knows. They were also very rude that time. They were under British government. And Swami Chinmayananda, that was said in the story, is not Swami Chinmayananda of the Chinmaya mission. It is much earlier Swami Chinmayananda. So, Swami Saradananda was not affected by not showing him respect or ordinary regular courtesy. That happens. So, the person are not affected by any misery, any difficulty, any suffering, any sorrow. And what not only that, that comes with sukheshu vigata ispriya. And when happiness comes, when our desires are fulfilled, when we get what we seek, what happens to those persons? They are unaffected and they don't get attached. Vigata ispriya. There is no attachment for the sukha. There is no aversion for the dukkha. There is no attachment for the sukha. How it is possible? How it is possible? When dukkha comes, we don't want suffering, we don't want misery, we want happiness, we want joy. How there is no willingness to shun miseries and to welcome happiness? How it happens? How it is possible? How can one do that? Different spiritual practitioners have different point of view. Like for a karma yogi, when dukkha comes, when suffering comes, he will think it is a prarabdha. I had done something in my past life, I have to bear that, I have to, whatever I had earned, I have to suffer that. So Karma Yogi will think in that way. Jnana Yogi will say, oh, this dukkha and sukha are all ignorance. It is all because I am not able to understand the truth, I am attached to these senses and body and mind, that's why I experience this dukkha and sukha. There is nothing like that. He tried to remove that by intellectual thought, by reasoning. Jnana Yogi will do that. What Raja Yogi will do? Raja Yogi will say, oh, this sukha and dukkha are the works of Prakriti. Prakriti has three qualities, sattva, rajas and tamas. When sattva prevails, then there is sukha. When their tamas prevails, then dukkha. When sattva prevails, there is sukha. When rajas prevails, there is dukkha. When tamas prevails, there is delusion. You don't understand. You are lazy. This tamas prevails. And these three qualities are born of nature. And that's why I don't need to worry about that. He remains unaffected. And for Bhakti Yogi, who has faith in God, what happens to him? He says, oh, this suffering has come. Someone comes and insults. Robber comes, a thief comes and takes away my money. I go to in a crowded place in a city like New York or in a crowded place like Delhi. Then my some thing is stolen away in the airport or anywhere. Instead of getting lot of suffering, he says, it was my prarabdha karma. And God gave me this suffering by His grace. When good comes, oh God, you have given me. When bad comes, oh God, you have given me. All the devotee looks at his God. It is all God's gift, and always try to feel that there must be some deeper meaning in God's doing this to me. It doesn't say, why me? That question doesn't arise. Why me if arise? Then, oh Lord, you have chosen me to suffer this. There must be some deep meaning in your, and it must be out of your great love for me that you are doing. Any suffering that you will take as God's gift to Him. As Holy Mother said, suffering is the grace of God, not to get rid of the suffering. Suffering itself is something which will take you towards divine. Some higher thought will come to you. You will be propelled, impelled towards divine. Question will come, why God gave me? Then answer will come, God gave me out of mercy. So that all will come to the devotee. He is never complaining. He is always same to the good and bad. Now it says, Sukheshu vigata spriya, vida raga bhaya krodha. Now this is the quality of a man, a person of steady wisdom. He is free from vida, has gone away what? Raga, bhaya and krodha. Attachment, raga means attachment, bhaya is fear, and krodha is anger. So attachment, fear and anger are not to be seen there. So attachment with what? Attachment first with our own ego. That I was saying. Chisel that deformed our own idea about ourselves. We are very much attached to that. Whenever someone says anything to us, we feel insulted. We have some idea that I am this and that. We all impose those external qualities that we acquire from this world and impose upon ourselves. And that becomes like a bondage to our own being. And we want that to be satisfied. Whenever that are not satisfied, then we become, because we are attached to that, when are not satisfied, then we become angry. So, and out of these comes fear. Because we feel we are a human being and I have this much possession, everything we fear. The world and everything makes us fearful. What makes fearful? The wealth, the youth, the life, the knowledge, everything that we have, we are fearful because of those. The wealth may be taken away, we may lose the money. Youth, we may lose youth as we grow old. Honor, learning, scholarship, everything makes us fearful. Even the life makes us fearful. We may have disease, we may die. Of course, if you grow old, we will have disease. Of course, if you are born, you will have to die. We don't analyze and we become fearful. So, the person of steady wisdom can reason out and they are never fearful for anything in the world. They are not fearful. All fear goes. Because they try to fix their mind on God or Atma. They think of Atma always. Their mind is steadily fixed in God. That is the steady wisdom. Wisdom is fixed in God. And they see nothing else, they think nothing else but God. And Krodha always comes when our ego is disturbed. Our ambitions are not met. Our expectations fail. There is chance of getting very angry. So that is also a sign of weak mind. But a strong mind, a person of steady wisdom, is free from anger. Sthitati muni ruchyate. And that type of person who have very strong mind, well-established intellect, sthitati, that is called muni. Mananat muni. One who thinks deeply is muni. One who is free from anger, fear, and attachment is muni. Attachment comes, the final attachment is attachment with my ego. But before that, it's attachment with whatever I say, mine. My family, my children, my grandchildren, my wealth, my house, my car, my anything, my clothes. Anything makes us attachment. Whatever we say my, which comes from the sense of I means this smaller I, brings the attachment. So when a person of steady wisdom is already fixed his mind and intellect in the Supreme Being, in the truth, can there be fear or anger or attachment. And only when those goes, it can be of fixed or established intellect or established wisdom. Yes, sarvatra anavisneha tattat prapya shubhashubham. To such a man, when good and evil becomes equal. Anavisneha is unaffected, unattached, whatever comes, good or evil. We find the stories in so many stories. This good and evil are like the cause, and raga, bhaya and krodha are like the effect. Good brings raga, whatever you feel good, you are attached to that, and whatever is ashubha, what is bad, we feel because of that we have bhaya or krodha. Either we are fearful of whatever we feel bad, or we become angry whenever we feel bad. So when there is no good sense of, you are not affected by good and bad, then there is no attachment, fear or anger. So how to have this equanimity of intellect? How to treat good and bad as equal? That is the question. We have seen in the lives of so many persons, even when that Pavahari Baba's story that Swami Vivekananda said, the bad happened so much that one snake bit him. Was he very terribly afraid of death? He said he was very happy. He said, oh, call from the highest has come. My beloved has sent me on invitation. And with that beloved, God. God invited me to go back to him, to his lab. That was the feeling of a person of study wisdom. They don't care of what is good and what is bad. And sometimes what happens if you are too much attached to good and bad? For example, suppose we are awarded, we are announced to get some award, that you are going to get Nobel Prize. And that person is affected by this good news. Then what will happen? So he will be so totally different man. He is not composed. He is running in air. And this good feeling has caused disturbance in his intellect. His intellect is not well established in itself. Perhaps that day he will not be able to meditate on God. He will not be able to treat other person as good as other did, because he will be swelling with ego for getting the Nobel Prize. Somehow it happened that that person's Nobel Prize is cancelled. Often it happens in sports, you see. They get the first gold medal in Olympic. And they are so happy, got the gold medal announced, but and it is given, and after times of time it is found that it was some illegal, some doping was there, and they were so elated in that good. And when that is taken away, can you imagine the suffering, the anger on the people of that getting ashubha? So for the people of study wisdom, this makes no difference. When Mother Teresa was said to have announced that she got the Nobel Peace Prize, the reporters asked him next day how Mother felt, how was her reaction to getting this Nobel Prize, highest recognition of her achievement in the world. So the sisters reported to the reporters, there was no change in her any external behavior. She slept right at time, went to bed. Morning she woke up as she woke up every day, went to the prayer, meditated and prayed to God as she used to do. There was no visible change in slightest after getting this recognition. That is Shubha. Shubha doesn't matter to those persons. Sarvatra anavisneha tattat prapya shubha shubham. Nabhinandati nadvesti tasya prajna pratishta. They neither welcome the Shubha nor denounce Ashubha. Neither denounce Shubha nor welcome Ashubha. Neither welcome or denounce Ashubha, nor welcome or denounce Shubha. Shubha, Ashubha, na avinandati, na dvesti. In our case, we always think whatever good comes, we always think of, sometimes people think of, if I get a lottery, so I will, so sometimes when they talk me, so Swami, if I get lottery of this $5 million, half I will give to the Vedanta Society. So they think that I will be very happy for that. So at least they are happy in thinking that we need money to build house and this that. So I will give half of that money. And after that they are calculating only 2.5 million. Not 2.5 million is gone. The 2.5 million that I will possess, what I will do with that. Only in imagining of this Shubha, there is so much of joy. So that happens to us, most of us. The Shubha we always welcome. And Ashubha, any suffering, any difficulty, any unseen, unforeseen difficulty in life, we just shun like poison. But the difficulties come. Honor come, insult come, that is how world is made. We cannot have one and give up another together. That's why they say the heaven must be imagination. It can't be a real place where there is only joy, only goodness, only happiness, only youth, only beauty. How can that be? These all are temporary things. This happiness and misery is temporary. Misery is there, that's why we call happiness. Old is there, that's why we call youth. Death is there, that's why we call life. There is no death, there is no unhappiness, there is no sorrow, there is no conflict. There is always good relation. How can it be? How can it? It's rationally it's impossible to imagine that there will be a place where there will be no this opposite. This opposite exists with each other. Happiness and misery, they exist. When one is there, another is there. When one is not there, there is no another thing. If there is no misery, there is no happiness either. Only there is bliss in the self, which they say that is so totally different from the concept of happiness or the experience of happiness that we have in this world. So it is said they do not accept anything. They are equal in good and bad, in praise and honor, that Sri Krishna says, in life and death. They don't bother that death is coming. That's we find in the story of so many. One Swami that I told another day, one Swami was in Belkharia, when our students' home. He was sick and at this last moment came and he started feeling, and then he knew that he is going to die. He called the younger Swami who was attending him and said, "Look, this is called Nabhishwasa, the gasping before death. Don't worry, just see, observe me." That was his strength. And he asked, "Swami, are you not afraid that you are dying?" "Why will I be afraid? I will go with to mother's lap like this. What is there to be afraid in death? Death is not losing something. It is gaining. It is going back to our source, back to the lap of mother. It is going back to our own home. Mano cholo nija niketane. Oh my mind, go to your own place. You have come here in a sojourn in a foreign land. You have come just for a few years to be here. Just have a play of life. So no fear of death." And he said, "Ask them to build the ring for food early so that others are not disturbed." And he said, "Swami, I should go for fetching the doctor." "No need, time has come, I am going like that." So in a few minutes he passed away. With bright glowing face, he passed away. No fear of death. For them, death and life same, doesn't matter. So that is the sign of man of steady wisdom. That Swami was surely a person of steady wisdom. And that comes often by the grace of God. Then the next is Yada samharate chayam urmonga niva sarvasha indriyani indriyarthevya tasya pragya pratisthita. Often we are troubled with our senses. We try to control our mind, but something comes in front of our eyes, something comes in our vicinity, and we cannot control ourselves. That thing is gone. So he says for a person to become of steady wisdom, controlling for some time won't work. In every situation it has to be there. The man of steady wisdom is not like a parrot who says Ram Ram when it is taught and fed with fruits. It says Ram Ram or whatever you teach to a parrot or a speaking bird. But Sri Ramakrishna says he's taking the name of God, very holy name. But when a monkey, when a cat catches that bird starts saying tia tia, its original language comes. Ram Ram doesn't come that time. There is no wisdom. It is not firmly established in the thought of God. Deep inside is the fear of death. So at that time, name of God goes away. That happens with us also. If we do not practice and with the practice it becomes a part of our life and our focus is not fixed on God. At the time of death, maybe whatever desire is there in our heart, that will come. Oh, I could not be reached in this life. And you will die with that thought, next life, then of course you will be rich. But with richness, we have to be prepared to get all the miseries, all the suffering. Today you are richest man, you gloat and you just swell. Next day your rank in the Forbes magazine goes down and you suffer, you don't have sleep. So what is the good in becoming so much rich? It doesn't give you peace, not at all. So the thing is, we have to be careful that all our basic desires that are in the heart are gone and we are firmly established in the thought of God. What happens when we are thought in the God? This verse says that the person becomes like a tortoise. Person becomes like a tortoise? No, person doesn't become like a tortoise. Given the example of tortoise, when tortoise goes and finds some impediment, some danger, it feels some danger, it withdraws its limbs. All its limbs, hair, everything is withdrawn inside. Then it tries to protect itself. Similar thing happens to a man of steady wisdom. When he finds senses going to something and it finds that senses try to enjoy that, something desire comes, just it comes out automatically. It's by nature it comes out. There is no danger for him or her to fall in the temptation because his intellect or wisdom is firmly established in divine. When that wisdom is firmly established in divine, then we find the example of Sri Ramakrishna. For Sri Ramakrishna, as a person of steady wisdom, he was always fixed his intellect and wisdom in Divine Mother. When that happens, one sees Divine Mother in every aspect and everywhere, in every being. To Sri Ramakrishna, when he speaks of God. When he is not speaking with others, he is taking the name of God, pacing the whole night he used to walk and take the name of Mother Kali. When with nobody there, he is singing the glory of God. He is firmly established in the awareness of Mother Kali. One day Sri Ramakrishna was being brought by devotees and they found by mistake they entered the red light area. They were all very scared. Which bad area we came in Calcutta? Sri Ramakrishna had a habit of taking his head out of the window of the horse carriage. Sri Ramakrishna takes out window and there were people sitting there and luring the customers. And those who brought devotees were very scared. Where we came, this holy man we brought in such an unholy place? Sri Ramakrishna, who was firmly established in the divine, had a steady wisdom. He says and laughs and beams his face. Oh mother, you are here in this form. Mother, in Kali temple you are in Mother Kali and here you are in this form. He says nothing but Mother Divine. Man firmly established in that steady wisdom. Nothing else will be seen. Always conscious of divine in everywhere, in every being, everything. For that, how we need to do that? We need to practice. Practice, as Sri Ramakrishna said. Take the holy name. Think of God. Read the scriptures. Have the company of devotees. Talk about God. Talk about the scriptures what you read. Try to fill your mind with those thoughts. And finally, your all desires will be gone. Basic desires like trying to enjoy the world, that desire to enjoy the world will go. That you'll find little happiness in finding the things of the world, very minor, very insignificant compared to the joy that you will get by having love for God. It's just trash, it's so dilute, nothing is there. Real joy is in love of God. Sri Ramakrishna said, any passion, any desire in the world that you feel joyful, is nothing compared what you have the joy in God. When you get concentrated, full, we get there. So if we want to do that, we have to divert our mind towards God and try to fill ourselves with the divine thought. Then, by understanding this thing, this quality we will find coming. Attraction for the world will grow less. Attachment for the world will grow less. And we will be more attracted and attached to divine. to God, to Spirit, to our own real nature, and we'll slowly find we are growing. We are growing towards the stage of steady wisdom. Sthita Pragya is that term in Sanskrit. Thank you very much.